First of all, an announcement. Starting tomorrow, those of you who know me know that when I finally do make a decision, I move really quickly. So Shirley, you'll be glad to hear this. We are bringing live script practice back to the Coral Springs Market Center, and it starts tomorrow. So here's how this is going to work. This call is going to end at 8:55 starting tomorrow, not at 9 a.m. And I'm going to log off of this Zoom, and I'm going to log onto another Zoom so that agents who want to be a part of live script and role play in the Coral Springs Market Center are able to. We're going to do it in person. And I'm also going to open that up to anybody who wants to participate via Zoom. Justin is going to co-host this with me, and we're going to begin with a 15-minute coaching and training call around the scripts that we're practicing that day. And then the agents that are in the room are going to break off into pairs and practice and role play those scripts. And those of you who are on Zoom, Justin is going to put you into breakout rooms so that you could practice and role play those scripts. And Shirley, y'all email you a link. It's going to be a different link. And if you don't get that email by the end of the day, just send me a text, 727-686-0404 with your email address, and I'll make sure that you get added. But if you're here, you should be on my email list. I have 700 people on that list, so you should be there. And if you're not, if you don't get an email by the end of the day, simply send me a text. All right, I'm in page 71 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Now, yesterday we talked about, whenever I pause like that, guys, it's an opportunity for you to finish the sentence.
Mindset.
Mindset. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Whoever said that, you're my new favorite person.
Sandra.
Okay. So I'm on page 71. You know, I could have asked you, what page do you think we're on based on that? And somebody would have said, well, John, you're on page 71, the 9 ways a millionaire real estate agent thinks. And I would have said, you're right. That's where we're at. All right. Top of page 71, Gary Keller says about 1/3 of the Think Amelia formula is attitude and perspective. I think perspective is my new favorite word. And read every one of Andy Andrews' noticer books. Become a noticer. Pay attention to perspective. Perspective is the only thing that can dramatically change the outcome of an event without changing any of the facts. It's huge. Now, middle of the page, Gary goes on to say, if you want to improve the way you think about your real estate career, you have to start zeroing in on some key specifics and breaking down the way a millionaire real estate agent thinks into 9 specific categories, 2 categories. Think powered by a big why and think big goals and big models clearly stood out from the rest as foundational mindsets that almost all top real estate agents have in common. Now, if I said to you guys, there's a certain way that the top agents in our industry think, and there's 2 key things, 2 key ways that they think. Would you want to learn how they think? Of course you would, because if 90% of success is mindset, and we can actually identify 2 key ways the top real estate agents are thinking, then we can focus in on thinking the same way they think in order to get a better result. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so number 1, I'm going to read through these and then I'm going to go back into Gary's book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Sorry. Number 1, think powered by a big why. Think big goals and big models. Think possibilities. That one's huge for me. What's possible? Stop asking yourself what is and start asking yourself what if. I like the conversation what if much better than what is. Example, what is? Well, there's a shortage of listings, and that shortage is causing a lot of real estate agents to struggle in their real estate career right now? Yes or yes?
Yes.
What
Yes.
if you found a way to create 2 listings a month that didn't exist, 4 listings a month that didn't exist? Find ways to go get listings that don't exist. In other words, have conversations with people that cause them to self-discover that now is the right time to put their home on the market versus a year from now. How many homeowners out of the 83 homeowners in the United States right now are thinking that they're going to wait until next year to put their home on the market? I guarantee you it's a lot. And what would the conversation sound like if you were to help 2 of them every month or 3 of them every month self-discover that now is the right time to put their home on the market versus a year from now? You would change your real estate business. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Think possibilities. Think action. Like I said just a few minutes ago, it may take me a while to make a decision, and I don't really like that because I like to move quickly. However, when I do make a decision, I'm in action right now. I'm not going to wait until I can get it perfect. Forget perfect. Be willing to do something poorly until you can do it great, but do it. Take action. Are you always going to make the right decisions? No, you're not, but you're going to make a decision that you can tweak and then make it right. Think without fear. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is experiencing fear and doing it anyways. Thinking without fear doesn't mean you don't have fear. It means you're ignoring fear and going forward anyways. Think progress. As long as you're making progress every day, then you're succeeding. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Even if you're not hitting your goals, Melissa, you're still succeeding. If you're averaging 5 conversations a day and you're able to move the needle to 6 conversations a day, is that progress?
Yes.
Yeah. If you're not getting any appointments and you get 1 for sell by owner preview, is that progress?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. Just keep making progress. Focus on the progress that you're making, not the results that you're getting. When you focus on the progress that you're getting, that you're making, excuse me, then you're going to win the day. And when you're focused on the results, you may or may not win the day, but you're not going to win the day much more often than you are. Think competitively and strategically. Are you competitive? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, how many of you, when you're playing a game, a board game with your children, play to win? Uh-huh. How many of you go outside with your sons or daughters and you play basketball and you're playing a game of one-on-one and you play to win versus letting them win? I'm gonna win, sorry. I love you and I'm gonna beat you. Are you doing them any favors by letting them win? Say no.
No.
Turn everything into a competition, everything, and then play to win. And think strategically. Strategically is playing chess, not checkers. Playing checkers is defensive. Playing chess is offense. And sometimes when you're thinking strategic, you're making moves that lead to checkmate, and checkmate is not going to show up for several months. As a company, we've been talking about this new disruption model. Some of you have heard this conversation, maybe some of you haven't. And Gary Keller shared with all of the owners of Keller Williams Market Centers to create a new disruption model that would cause everybody to want to be a part of our company, and nobody would want to leave. Now, locally, we've been working on that model at Keller Williams Coral Springs for a year. We've been moving the pond and the bishop and the knight and all of the other pieces in a chess game. And we've been playing this game for a year. Well, checkmate shows up next week.
Wow.
Dude, I am so excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to move that last chess piece. Diane, that cat looks like a raccoon. I'm like, holy cow, there's a raccoon in Diane's house.
Yeah.
I am so excited about moving that final chess piece and going, checkmate.
Mhm.
Do I think strategically? Yes. 100%. Do I think competitively? You better believe it. 100%. When you're on a journey with a destination that is assured, you can't lose. Now, that doesn't mean you're not going to have setbacks along the way. You're going to have a lot of setbacks along the way. There's going to be times where it's painful. However, as long as you hang in the game and you keep playing the game, read Simon Sinek's The Infinite Game book. The strategy, the purpose of the game is not to win the game, it's to stay in the game. You just keep moving those chess pieces until it's time for checkmate. Think standards. Now, we've talked standards on this call every single day for more than a year. Give me an example of a standard if you're following the survive to thrive strategy to build a successful real estate career. Give me one example of a standard.
20 conversations.
There it is, 20 conversations. It's not a goal, it's a standard. Now, that doesn't mean it's a standard for every single person on this call, because for some of you, your standard is 10 conversations, and that's cool. For some of you, your standard is 5 conversations. That's cool. By the way, you don't start day one with a 20 conversation standard. That's not strategic. It's actually not very smart. You start by saying, I'm going to make 5 conversations every single day. And at the end of the day, I'm going to look at my day and I'm going to ask, did I win the day? Well, did I have 5 conversations? Yes. Well, then you won the day. Congratulations. Now win tomorrow. Think service. Read Raving Fans by Ken Blanchard. I think Ken Blanchard wrote that book. I get those books mixed up. I might be wrong on that one. But read Raving Fans and deliver raving fan service. Okay, now page 72. Middle of the page. Over the years, whenever I consulted with agents, I always probed for the ways they thought. When they would tell me about their current production level, I wouldn't pronounce it as good or bad, but simply asked how they felt about it. I asked them why they chose real estate and what kept them going. Really good questions. Before 30 minutes was up, I could usually identify at least one of the 9 ways that had evaded them. Now, Gary's having consultative conversations with real estate agents. Gary is a recruiter to Keller Williams, yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and if Gary is meeting with someone to talk about the possibility of them joining Keller Williams, the conversation isn't, Eddie, let me tell you why Keller Williams is such an awesome company. Let me tell you why you should join Keller Williams. The conversation is nothing but questions. He's looking for gaps in their business so that he can coach them to remove obstacles to close the gap in order to make progress. I'm not sharing this with you because I want you to become a recruiter. I'm sharing this with you because how can you use that in your real estate business?
By asking great questions.
Asking great questions. Guys, practice having conversations with people. Let me say that again. Practice having conversations with people doing nothing but asking questions. It's really difficult, isn't it, Chandra?
Yeah.
Really difficult. Try doing that with your children. Rather than clean your room, what are some questions that you could ask your children that would help them self-discover that it's in their best interest to clean their room?
Do you like receiving allowance money?
Yeah. What are your plans for this weekend? That sounds awesome. Who are you going to do that? Who are you doing that with? I'm going to play basketball. Awesome. Who are you playing basketball with? Cool. Where are you doing that? Blah, blah, on and on. What are some things that need to happen in order for you to be able to play basketball this weekend? Well, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. Those are all great answers. And what are you missing? What's one more thing you need to do? Well, maybe I need to clean my room. Aha! There it is. What a great idea. Now, it was their idea versus me going to them, Chad, and saying, clean your room. That was their idea, not mine. I'm like, wow, you're so smart. I can't believe you came up with that idea on your own. I think it's amazing. And it was their idea. All right. Think powered by a big why. Yes, Chad.
No, I was just saying I love it. Go ahead.
Okay, keep going. Okay. Think powered by a big why. We've discovered that one thing all high achievers have in common is they are working for a big why. The big why is about having a purpose, a mission, or a need. Wow. That one really struck me. A need that in turn gives you focus. High achievers always have a big why powering their actions. So write this down. A big why powered by focus and energy on the right actions equals success. Big why powered by focus and energy on the right actions equal success. Okay, I've got 8:55. That went fast. Talk to me. What'd you hear? Not everybody at once.
Right. You got to have your mind right.
There you
first.
go, Valerie. There you go, Valerie. Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to know what your big why is.
Mm-hmm. By the way, that's a moving target.
Yeah.
Yeah. My big why today is different than my big why yesterday. My big why today is very different than in 2002 when I started selling real estate. And sometimes it's not one big why. Sometimes it's a lot of little whys that add up to a big why.
For me, John, it's think action. Make a decision and move forward. Don't worry about perfection.
There you go, Shirley. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. When I was interviewing Suzanne Tacoba recently, she's an agent in the Coral Springs Market Center who's tracking about $70 million in production this year, by the way. 70 million.
Mm-hmm.
She was a new agent in our office 6 years ago, brand new. And Shirley, you know this story. She was sitting in class after class after class for 6 months. She hadn't gone on one appointment, but she was a professional student. And I tapped her on the shoulder one day and I said, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Well, I've got to know everything there is to know." I'm like, "Whoever told you that?" I actually kicked her out of class and I said, "You don't need to be here today. Go get on the phone, find somebody to talk to." get into action.
Yeah, how did you say that about the high achievers always have a big some why, and then you said focus and energy
A big
on
why.
action.
Yep. A
Yeah.
big why powered by focus and energy on the right actions
Okay.
equal success.
Equal. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And if you read Gary Keller's book, The One Thing, you could change the right actions to right action. What's the one thing that I could do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? It's the first domino.
Lead generation.
Lead generation, Camille, and be specific around that. My one thing is I'm gonna talk to people until I schedule one appointment today. There it is.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got to do. Just have conversations until one person says, sure, let's talk.
Okay.
By the way, as a team leader, it's the same thing. All right, a couple more ahas and we're going to jump.
Ask questions. Learn to have conversations revolved around asking questions, not telling.
Yes, Sarah, don't sell and tell. If you're in a conversation with someone, pay attention to who's doing most of the talking. If you're doing most of the talking, you're doing something wrong.
I'm going to write that down and put it like right in front of me. If I am doing most of the talking in the conversation, I'm doing something wrong.
Yeah. 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 It's true.
John, I would like to say something.
Magenda, yes. Talk to me.
I want to say thank you for being you, and simply because every single time I get on this phone, I get on the Zoom call, whatever conversation you're having is a conversation I had with self yesterday, and you just reassured it. I had a conversation with Sarah last night about this exact thing, and you're having it with us today. And I want to say thank you so much for being on the same wavelength. I know all the other agents feel the same way. And I just want to say thank you, John. You are awesome.
I appreciate that. I really do. It means more than you know. And I'll close with this, guys. When I get up every morning, the first thing I do in my daily personal growth plan is prepare for this call. And before I prepare, I have no idea what I'm going to talk to you guys about. None. And I am listening. In other words, God, tell me what to talk about, because I have no idea. And the message that you get is whatever came to me in that time period. And it means a lot to me to know it was the right message. I'm grateful for that.
Yes.
Yeah. So God must have been listening, Magenda. He must have said, Magenda needs to hear this, John. So this is what I want you to talk about today. And I'm like, cool, I'm all in. Let's
It
go.
wasn't just Magenda. He and I were on the phone last night having the conversation. So he was like, you know what, John, Sarah and Magenda need to hear it. Maybe somebody else might, but this is just for them.
There you
So
go.
thank you.
There you go. All right, guys. Great call. Thank you very much. Remember tomorrow morning, we Survive to Thrive is 8:30 to 8:55, and scripts for success in real estate. There's the title. We'll start at 9 a.m. Look for an email before the end of the day. And time to get to work.
What is work? 20 conversations a day, not 19, not 18 or 17 conversations. When you have 17 conversations because it's close enough, I have settled. The 18th conversation could have been $1 million listing that I did not get because I didn't make the call. I never knew because I did not make the call. Do not settle. Go, Chandra.
Purpose of the call. is to make care calls, not sales calls. Always lead with gratitude. Remember to say, thank you for taking my call. I appreciate you. Bring value to every single conversation. Go, Diane.
Every day in every conversation, focus on getting one face-to-face appointment with someone who wants to sell real estate, getting a referral, adding one person to my database. Go, Shoshana. Set non-negotiable standards. Live up to those standards. 20 conversations a day is a standard. One face-to-face appointment per day is a standard. Adding one person to my database every single day is a standard. Go, Melissa.
Find someone today that is thinking about buying or selling real estate, whether it's 3 months from now, 6 months from now, or 1 year from now. It doesn't matter because I'll need listings a year from now. I'm looking for opportunity, period, not opportunity today, opportunity, period. Go, Sarah.
Because I have entered those 250 people into my pipeline, I follow up with them forever because I reject rejection. No is not a word that lives in my vocabulary. No simply means not yet. Because I followed up every single day, I created emotional proximity. People do not change their minds. They make a new decision based on new information. Since I have emotional proximity, when they make a new decision, they hire me. I keep calling because success is absolutely guaranteed. Make it a great day.
Make it a great day.
Awesome job, everybody.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, and awesome. All right, guys, make it a great day. I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Go get them.
Awesome. Thanks,
Thank
John.
you so
Thanks,
much, John.
everybody.
Okay.
Have an awesome one.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a nice day.